Morning, evening, afternoon, guys. Welcome back to Tempus TV. Today marks 7 months that I've been living in Thailand. Over this time, I have definitely witnessed some changes. I actually ended up here pretty much right after COVID restrictions were all dropped. I was one of the first people back here. I think I made it about 2 weeks after everything fully opened back up, and I've seen some big changes since I've been here. Some of these for the better, I feel like. Some of them could be taken in a negative connotation. But today we're gonna break down quite a few of those things, explain to you why it's different, and why I don't think Thailand will ever be the same. I get asked quite a bit why I chose Thailand to start this channel and why I chose here out of all the places in the world you could live if you wanted to move abroad. And a few of those things we're gonna touch on today, and there's still things that make me love Thailand, but there are quite a few things that have changed, and the situation seems to be changing a little bit, but a lot of this stuff is super good for the economy, it's super good for Thailand. But if you're planning on moving here, if you're planning on living here, you might be doing some research that might be a little bit dated. So I'm gonna do my best to go through a few of these things, update you guys on what it's actually like now, and that way you have a real idea of what Thailand is like right now. So if you're thinking about coming to Thailand, whether it be for vacation or whether you're thinking about moving here, probably one of the biggest reasons that you're looking at it, especially if you're still pulling a Western income, is the cost of living. Now, it still reigns true that Thailand can be very cheap, but things have changed quite a bit. And don't get it twisted, if you're not careful, Thailand can be very expensive, especially if you're like me and you like to go out and have some fun sometime. But generally, it's still very easy to live a comfortable life here on a much smaller income than you might have had in the States. A few things that have changed, however, especially since all the tourists are coming back, is that prices have increased quite a bit. Now, this ranges all the way from housing all the way down to like food, transportation. So this is something that's obviously been great for the Thais and the Thai economy, which is nice because, you know, Thailand got hit very hard by the pandemic. So people are making their money back. But if you had a budget in mind and you might have been doing your research 3 or 4 months ago, things have changed quite a bit. You might need to cushion your allotment for what you're looking to spend. Food has gone up a decent amount, not too bad in most places, but housing has definitely increased and become a little less readily available. Another big one that I really enjoyed when I first got here, and I didn't really notice the difference until it was already gone, was when I first got here, I pretty much had everything to myself. You would go into restaurants, there were no waits or anything like that, which was super nice. Obviously, it's great for the restaurants and it's great for the Thai people to have their restaurants full and they're making money again, but there's certain places that I used to like to go that are actually only taking reservations now. Public transportation is less readily available as well, which is a big one that I've noticed here, and especially in the past couple months. It can be hard to get taxis and stuff sometimes, which is definitely a big change. When I first got here, it was really easy to just make a call and you'd be on your way. Now it's a little bit different, it's more crowded. This might go back a little bit just because they were coming out of the busy season in Thailand. It's about to get back into the summer, that heat, the rain, so it'll definitely thin out a little bit, but there's been quite a few things. Certain stores are sold out of stuff. It can be harder to find some like home goods and things like that. So if you're thinking about coming here because you think it's still not crowded, you think people still aren't traveling, that is so not true anymore. A lot of people have come back, which is great for Thailand, but if you like to have stuff to yourself a little more low-key, this could be something that might change your mind a little bit. Something else that's definitely changed with the influx of visitors coming back is the whole visa process. So coming right out of COVID, it definitely seemed that immigration was a little bit more lenient on some stuff. If you weren't on the proper visa, so to speak, there was easy ways for you to make it happen. But now that plenty of people are coming back here, they've definitely started to crack down on this. So when you're doing your research, make sure this is one that you really check into, because it can be really stressful, obviously, if you feel like you're on the wrong visa. If you do something against immigration rules, it is possible to get blacklisted from the country and you won't be able to come back for a certain amount of time, which would be a major bummer. But when you're doing your research as well, Thailand is notorious for changing immigration rules. So the best way to do it is just go to the Thai immigration website, and it can be a little hard to translate sometimes, but that's gonna be your most up-to-date information, and you don't wanna hop on and watch some videos from last year or even 6 months ago that might be stating rules and stuff that you need to do. That might not be a thing anymore, or there might be new stuff. Even by the time you see this video, it could very well change, but just make sure you're obviously checking on the proper visa, because this is something that's definitely changed a lot in the past 6 months, is they are cracking down, making it much harder for people that might be trying to manipulate visas and do the old visa runs and all that stuff. So make sure you're checking that out. One thing that has definitely changed quite a bit, especially here in Pattaya in the past 6 months, I tend to like it. Some people might not be as crazy about it, but over the last 6 months, there have been definitely more Western restaurants opening. So this is another one to do with food. Granted, I love Thai food, that's probably 80% of my diet, but every once in a while, you want a little Americana. But now that more people are starting to come back, more of these restaurants are starting to open up. So if you're worried that you might not like Thai food, or you might not be able to eat it all the time. There's plenty of other stuff you can eat that's become more readily available, and this isn't just, you know, American food. There's tons of new Japanese places open, there's tons of new Chinese places open, so there's all kinds of different food you can get. If that was something that you were worried about before, this is something that is not a thing anymore. There's definitely all kinds of food to find everywhere. The only thing, like we mentioned earlier, with more people being here, if you're planning on cooking and stuff like that and you're looking for some more like Western style ingredients, they can be a little bit harder to find because they sell out quickly just because there's not as much stock. Just a quick reminder, guys, we are on the road to 10K subscribers. Last month was really great. I want to welcome all of the new subscribers to the channel, but once we reach our 10K goal, we will be making our way over to Japan to stay there for an extended period of time so I can continue to make videos like this, informational stuff. If you'd like to learn a little bit more about Japan and other places as well, there's some other stuff on the list that's going to be a secret. Feel free to go down and drop a subscribe below. If you'd like to support the channel so we can continue to make these videos, all that information will be linked down in the bio below. And as always, thank you so much. I thought it was definitely bad when I first got here, but having to deal with a few of the things we talked about already, obviously with an influx of more people, there's just more people in Thailand in general, the traffic has gotten wild. It used to only be a few days a week where you really had to worry about it, but even here in Pattaya, I can't even imagine what Bangkok is like now, but the traffic has definitely become a thing. We touched on some traffic related stuff in some older videos talking about like motorbikes and rentals and things like that, so if that's information you'd like to know, go hop back in the catalog, check that video out. But with the increase in traffic, obviously accidents and stuff are more prone, so if you are planning on getting a bike or anything like that here, make sure you're safe, get a helmet obviously, and also if you're planning on traveling, taking taxis or anything anywhere, make sure you're planning your time frame accordingly because there's much more traffic pretty much 7 days a week now, but it's part of Thailand, part of the game. It just has gotten quite a bit worse in the past 6 months. So another one that I have witnessed firsthand that's changed big time since I got here is a lot more condos and apartments and stuff are being a lot more strict about contracts. So when I first got here, a lot of places were trying to make their money back and stuff, so you could really get in anywhere. Some places weren't charging deposits, you didn't have to sign a contract, nothing. This has definitely changed now since everybody's coming back. Places are getting a lot more strict. You're more than likely gonna have to sign a contract. You're more than likely gonna have to pay deposits and all that stuff. So if you visited before and you liked how easy it was to hop in and out of places, unfortunately, that's not really a thing anymore. There's still plenty of places available. You can still find them, but be ready to commit to a longer contract. And if you're just planning on visiting, Airbnb or Agoda, places like that are probably gonna be a lot easier for you to figure out. All right, guys, I hope you learned a little bit something about this video. Don't get me wrong, Thailand is still super great and super worth it. Don't let any of these things change your mind about not coming at all. This video is just intended to give you an updated idea about what to expect when you get here. That way you know. And in some positive news, I actually got cleared by the doctor recently. The arm is good to go, so we will be back out and about soon doing our normal style videos, showing you guys some more of Thailand. Like we said earlier, if that's something you want to see, you want to learn more, you know what to do. And I also want to take a second to everybody that wished me a happy birthday, which was the day before yesterday. I really appreciate it. I just hung out with some friends, which is why I haven't had a couple videos up, but we'll be back out and about tomorrow and back to our normal programming. As always, guys, thank you so much for tuning in. We'll catch you in the next one. Tell somebody you love them.